You're listening to a Loot Dummies podcast, LOOTdummies.com. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons and Dummies, a weekly podcast following a group of friends as they battle across a homebrewed world called Antiriath in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Step into the mystical world of Antiriath and follow as our party of dummies adventure across the lands. Talik Grog, half-orc fighter-sorcerer from the wretched valleys of Mekzim, played by Taylor. Ilirlock Bloodhair, Harengon cleric whose fate seems determined by luck itself, played by Joey. And Pomerel the gatekeeper, Summer Eladrin from the Feywild city of Solaria, played by Seth. And last but not least, the host and dungeon master of our campaign, the man of many voices, Sam. And welcome back to our show, Dungeons and Dragons and Dummies.
Can you make it play Go Robot by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Seth?
Huh?
Can you make Discord play Go Robot by the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Yeah.
Please.
Ask me again. Are you on repeat?
Ask it one more time. No, I'm just kidding.
It's about having sex with robots.
Can we listen to it during the recap?
My God.
It's got a lot of lyrics. It might be distracting.
Turn it down to a nice, pleasant level.
I don't understand what all the vitriol is this evening.
I wanna spank you and crank you up on your silver skin.
Vitriol.
Yeah, who's spitting vitriol?
I'm in an excellent mood.
Who's spitting vitriol?
Y'all are all just wound up.
So bearable.
Sam, tell everybody what we're listening to. I'm feeling it.
It's Go Robot by Red Hot Chili Peppers from the Getaway album.
I'm feeling it.
It's great. It's about how robots don't care where you've been, and you can spank them on their silver skin.
Pink Pony Club would have been better.
I want to thank you and spank you up on your silver skin. Robots don't care where I've been.
Wow.
You got to lose it. So come on, let it in. Robots are my next of kin. It's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal song.
Phenomenal.
It's funky. It's funky and you can fuck to it, but only robots.
Funky fucker.
All right,
turn it down to lower
I'm ready
percentage.
for a recap.
I'm ready for a recap.
You're thinking about robots way too much. All right.
Seth, could you give us a recap, please?
Okay, so some time ago in the land of Eternum or Antiriath or wherever we live.
Eternum would be a good name for a fantasy
I
world.
think that's the New World.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah.
Good job, New World. Good world building in that game.
So, there's some shenanigans that goes down, and the lycanthropy gets cleared, and Talik's possessed by his sword, and that's all bizarre and scary. And then we play some more shenanigan games with some pixies and sprites and a purple fey dragon. And then we make our way out of the mountains down into the woods, finally, into the foothills. And as we're going on a beautiful 45-degree day with no rain and a light breeze, we notice Ilirlock smells spiced meat like sausage and smoke on the path that we're on. As we investigate the path, lo and behold, the party discovers that no other than Bodyknock Greenleaf is camping out in the woods,
Gang.
snogging on sausages, and him and his trusty buddy Jeffrey.
I would like to retcon one word there. I don't think snogging is is the right word for the relationship?
I'm not putting sausages up my ass.
I don't think
Is
that's
that
what snogging means
I think
either. It just means
snogging's like
making out
sucking,
with.
right?
No, it
Like
means like
sucking,
making out.
yeah.
It's from Harry Potter
Or England.
Oh,
Either
or
one.
England.
it's
Maybe England in
from
general. I
Harry
don't know.
Potter.
For me, it's from Harry Potter.
England makes the worst sausages on the planet. Come on.
Oh
now.
yeah, they just pack them with
Yeah.
blood and stuff. No, that's Scotland, right?
Shout out New Zealand.
What the fuck's the difference? They're all the same.
They make different sausages for one.
They're the whitest countries in the world. Like they're just not good at it.
I'm not
No,
retconning
the
anything.
national dish of England is chicken tikka masala.
Indian food. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's because they make their native indigenous food is that shit. Is why.
Exactly.
They were
That's
like, "Holy
true.
shit, this is flavor? This is what flavor tastes like?"
Fuckers put down a fucking beanie weenies for breakfast, man.
All right. Where were you? You may continue with the sausage snogging.
Proceed.
Snogging.
As Bobby Knock is snogging on the sausages,
Go.
and we show up and discover him. He has some new people to meet in the Learlock and Pomeril. And Talik is dazed and confused and excited and happy and erect, and everything's great until, lo and behold, some bark-armored snake creatures attack everyone, nearly killing Bobby Knock as he tries to flee at that point.
Not getting rid of me that good.
Using some fair and regular mechanics in D&D of getting to grab when they hit as a monster.
Yeah,
They had 2 cloacas each.
they had two cloacas.
I did. I shot one through and through on a butthole.
Yep,
Through and through
butthole to
butthole.
butthole. That's canon.
Butthole slay.
That's
That happened.
canon.
One of us
Butthole
needs to be the same
shot.
person here.
Fight with Amphisbaena.
I think it's Greek, so it's Amphisbiana.
I won't. Talik manages to hit 3 of them with a big old fireball. A bunch of chaos ensues. Learlock, tried and true, polymorphs one into a snail that was holding on to Pomeril. Pomeril pumps some health into Talik. We finally get some hits in on these horrible things. Learlock kills one with a spiritual weapon and then scorches another snake with the guiding bolt. At which point Talik kills another one and Body Knock skewers the final one through the cloaca.
Through and through.
Pomeril slayed the polymorph thing.
Oh yeah,
Amphibiana.
hit it and then it polymorphed back and then you finished it off. Didn't Learlock free someone else from an Amphisbiana? I feel like he was the master of freedom.
It's
that combat.
definitely possible that I did not notate that.
Sure.
Master of Freedom. I can't
the
remember.
Yes.
master of freedom.
That did happen.
Yeah, I feel like you got Talik out
You
somehow.
freed
I don't
me,
remember
I
how.
I dimension
you
doored
dimension doored.
Talik.
Yep, grabbed
Yeah.
him and dimension doored.
He's
Yeah.
the Master of Freedom.
So I've said a few times on and off the line, as it were, how appreciative I am of Seth's excellent recast. But I would like to today make it mechanically relevant and give you inspiration for yet another wonderful
Wow.
recap.
Yay! My favorite part of the game.
So meta.
Yeah, that's meta. Yeah. Wait, inspiration is meta. It's literally a meta mechanic.
So meta. You're so right.
I'm so right. Thank you.
Thank you for your wisdom.
Y'all
Thanks
are
for being
welcome.
wisdomous.
So,
I need inspiration too.
one additional thing that Seth pointed out, due to his excellent note keeping, is that we ended the session without formally taking a long rest. I just double checked. Y'all make it into the next hex, no worries, and y'all will be able to rest without any problems. You can see on the Tailspire board that I pulled y'all into, y'all are in fact at camp. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that you guys are moved on the Harpy to the hex that y'all are camping in tonight. So yeah, if y'all want to go ahead and give yourselves a long rest, y'all are welcome to do so.
So when they get to camp, Pomeril looks over at Body Knock and says, "Oh, good sir. Are you hungry?"
No, I'm good. I just ate a lot of sausages.
"Oh, very well." And then Pomerel puts up his opulent tent of nonsense and retires.
All right, so we succeed our rest.
Yes, yeah, y'all rest, no problem.
All right.
And we will wake up the next day. So y'all are still pretty squarely in the forest that branches out from the hills of the Eclairin Mountains. It's still a little bit hilly, but y'all are definitely down in a warm, temperate area. At this point, it is late fall, so things are getting cool. The leaves are starting to turn, and this is you're moving out of the coniferous plants and into the deciduous plants. So there's a lot more color in the leaves as y'all continue your trek down the mountain.
Oh yeah.
But I'm going to now put it up to you guys to tell me what y'all want to do next, what hex y'all want to move into, and all that good jazz.
If I recall, your friend there, your metal friend on your hip was pointing to the northwest.
Yeah, I think this is right. Right.
Northeast.
Northeast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Right. And I kind of like see if it says anything.
It doesn't respond with words. It kind of does like a phone sound effect chime, just like a ding.
Okay, so I guess we'd move on looking at the heartbeat. I guess the one, because we're kind of in between two, maybe the one to
Yeah,
the
so you
north.
want to go this way or this
Northeast.
way?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Put y'all on the line to represent our movement today, and let's see what kind of fabulous weather you're having today. Okay. Ooh, oh, kind of a gross one. Oh yeah, real gross one. So a warm front has rolled over the mountains today and brought in a real strong, windy, rainy storm. It's a pretty gnarly day, but the temperature's fairly moderate. The rain is definitely going to reduce your checks for perception checks and survival checks. So what are y'all rolling today? Oh, and also, if Pomerel did not make food last night, then at the end of tonight, y'all will need to use rations. I'm literally crossing my hands, backing over myself, confusing myself.
I think he did because he said that he offered it to Body Knock.
Yeah, but he said when Body Knock said, "Nah, I'm good. I had sausages," that he didn't make any.
Wait, what? That is that I didn't know that was a canonical thing. Come on now.
It's okay. We don't need to eat.
Yeah, actually, we have enough.
Y'all should have rations. Y'all should
Yeah,
have.
we still have some rations.
And Body Knock, I was going to start you off with 5 waters and 5 foods to let you know kind of how we're working. That's what everybody started off with. And they've been able to maintain pretty well around that.
I'm rolling perception.
I am as well.
All right. So you can roll perception or survival, Body Knock, your choice. Perception will find you things like points of interest or look out for ambushes. Survival will let you find rations and food and stuff like that.
Okay. I'll roll perception too.
All right. Pretty
I rolled survival.
survival.
I rolled a 1.
Yeah, 10.
10. Okay. With the heavy rain today, I mean it's a downpour. It's a brutal downpour of rain. Pomerel finds nothing. Obviously, Talik with a 1 finds nothing. Body Knock with a 10 finds nothing. A Learlock, your survival roll is good enough that you find enough food and water for 1 day for 1 person. And that is all that you guys locate. As y'all are walking along through the forest, the rain is obscuring everything so much, and you see up ahead of you a big blot of like a tree or something moving that is blocking out the rain in front of you in a small spot. As you're walking along and get just a little bit closer to it, you see that there are a line of huge beings passing through the forest, just like crawling through the forest here. Or not crawling through, but walking through the forest. It's so rainy and gross, you can't even tell what they are from a distance. But they're huge. They're as tall as the trees.
Who sees it first?
I'd say you can all kind of see it because they are like making an effect every step they take. It's just like boom. It'd be like seeing elephants in the rain. You see like this, shadow moving across, and there's a little bit of a path here through the woods, and they're crossing kind of perpendicular to your path.
My first reaction would be to crouch down and flip the cloak over my head.
Okay, do you hop off your horse or?
Yeah, stop moving.
Yeah, I would hide too and stealth check.
I will follow suit since I'm on Talik's horse and do the same.
Okay. Pomerelle, what are you up to? Everybody else make me a stealth check.
I did 25.
Oh,
My stealth checks are ridiculous at this point.
4.
How about a 5?
Ugh.
Wow.
Hey, wait. If we have the cloak on, we get advantage though, right?
If you have a cloak, you get advantage. Yes. And the rain is so heavy, I won't
Mine's a
even
straight roll.
worry about the. Yeah, I mean, visual would be the only thing. They couldn't hear you for
Well.
sure.
12.
12's a little bit better.
Lazily dismounts and walks behind Talik, just kind of shaking his head with how loud he's being. But Pomerelle doesn't even try to be stealthy because Talik's just a mess.
The creature in the front, and as you guys are looking a little more, you can see there's a couple more creatures following the one in the front. Turns, and it kind of turns down this trail a little bit, and starts heading towards you guys. And as it's approaching you, I mean, this thing's like 25, 30 feet tall, and it's moving really, each movement is really deliberate and slow. As it starts to get closer, you see it has a much smaller hind corner than it does forward build, and it has these big long arms on the front and this big long neck that extends out from it and kind of hangs and droops down and kind of sways back and forth like a limb as it starts walking towards you guys. As it's getting closer, you can see that the rain is kind of matting some fur and making it sleek and running the water down around the nape of its neck and pulling the fur into a tight line that's just pouring off water. It continues to meander towards you. It walks right up to Pomerelle if you don't do anything, and bends its head slowly down to you. You get a good view of it. Everybody can make me a nature check at this point. It's close enough to you that you can make a check to see if you know what this thing is. Learlock and Talik, y'all can make it with
6.
advantage.
Natural 20.
Oh, okay.
Woo!
They're like, you
22.
don't need to reroll. The reason you guys get to make it with advantage is because you've seen this creature before fairly recently, a few weeks ago, but it was unfortunately deceased. This is a relic sloth. It bends its head down close to Pomerelle and just lets out a little snort and kind of blows snot on him, and its knuckles are like bent under. It's walking on its knuckles, and then it just turns its head away, and the other ones have passed by at this point, and this one turns and follows behind the other two, and they continue on their way.
Pomerelle kind of chuckles and he's like, "Ha! Did you see that thing? It just blew some of its juices on me."
Oh my god.
Yeah. You might want to wipe that off. Are those just wild Learlock? Or they have people with them?
I didn't observe any smaller creatures attached to it, as it were. They could be wild.
Okay.
All right. Y'all continue on your day, and nothing else of note occurs on the rest of your ride, and y'all are going to make it to the next hex this evening without any more complications. I don't think there's any reason for you guys to take another long rest unless you just feel so inclined.
No?
Wait, are we making camp?
I mean, you travel for an entire day and get to the end of your next hex.
Well, won't we encounter fatigue if we don't take a rest?
Yeah. I was saying that y'all make it to camp. Did I not say that y'all?
I think you insinuated that we may not have to take a long rest.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You don't need to press any buttons in a meta sense, but yes, you would need to take a long rest in order to not accrue exhaustion for skipping slow.
Yeah.
Pretty
Okay.
uneventful day.
Pretty uneventful day. Just saw some beautiful relic sloths.
I'm gonna press the button anyway.
So Pomerel steps out of his opulent tent and he looks over at Buddy Knock and he says, Mr. Buddy Knock, are you hungry?
Yeah, sausage is born off by now. I'll eat.
With some flourish of hands and some muttering of words, Pomerel creates 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water in containers right in front of Buddy Knock.
What kind of
So
containers?
It just says containers. He picks some of it up for himself and he walks back into his tent.
Jugs and baskets.
Oh my, a cornucopia, if you will.
I go over and grab some, go into my tent. Say, I'll take first rest.
Oh man. Shout out to one of our listeners, Tartan. He got a big chuckle out of the last time you said that. What
First
Talik said, I got
rest.
first rest.
I got first rest.
Oh yeah, I just listened to that. That episode just came out.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He listened to it Tuesday morning, right? First thing.
Nice.
Told me about it Tuesday night.
That's awesome.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything this Evenon?
Gonna grab some food from the pile.
The
And
bounty.
Yeah, and then I will retreat into my humble abode.
Retire, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Pomerel comes back out of his tent and he walks over to Talik's tent and he pulls it open, sticks his head in, and pulls it closed where the only thing inside of Talik's tent is his head.
Oh, he's so weird.
And he says, Talik,
Yeah.
this Buddy Knock fella, you do you know him well?
Yeah.
Oh. Did my prince know him as well?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was with us for a while. It's a little bit of a slippery fella. You know what I mean? Watch your valuables around him, but other than that, he's a good dude.
Does he cover himself with some type of lotion or something? What makes him slippery?
Oh, he likes to steal.
Greases himself up.
He likes to steal things.
Yeah. Yeah. He does.
Oh. That
He'll
could come in
admit it.
handy, don't you think?
Oh yeah, it has.
Oh, very good. Pomerel will remove his head from Talik's tent and go back into his tent.
I just imagine he does it like slowly where it like slurps out of his face.
Yeah,
Oh
something like
my.
that. Slurps.
That's a crazy
He slurps.
visual there.
He slurps.
I just shake my head in disbelief and fall asleep immediately within 5 seconds.
like I can't say it. Like a reverse break.
Like a
I was
what?
thinking the exact same thing.
What?
Like a reverse birthing.
Oh my god.
Oh.
That is unfortunate.
Joey gets it because Joey.
I was on the same page the whole time.
Man, I was just thinking about like some kind of serial killer fading into the shadows.
I was picturing. Oh, I was picturing something totally. I was picturing Ace Ventura when he comes out of the rhino butt.
Wow.
But you see everything but his face in that scene, don't you?
No, he comes out face first.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow. well, that was fucked up. Okay, the weather is still pretty bad. The rain has subsided a little bit. The wind has gone away. You're just in the drizzle of the storm of the next day.
That was Talik's nickname in elementary school.
The
The
drizzle?
of the storm.
What did he? I don't even want to know what he did to earn such a name. Oh my god. Okay.
What's the temperature? You didn't give me the temperature yesterday, and I still don't have the temperature for today. I'm freaking out, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's moderate for the woods, which is a moderate condition. So today it's 65.
Is it
Ugh,
the 47th or 48th?
it is
Today,
49.
yesterday was the 48th. There is no 49th. Today is the first of frost. The first of frost,
Alright.
as you all know, is indeed a full moon.
But we think I may be healed.
Yeah.
We
We
think.
saw last night that the moon is barely had a sliver left on Fuller.
Okay, so the very first thing that morning that Palmerell does is he walks straight over to Talik's tent, sticks his head back in, says, Talik, is tonight the night we stab you?
You've got to stop doing this. I roll over, start to get up. No, I think Learlock fixed me.
Oh,
Not sure, but I guess we'll find out.
Oh, I'm very excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I wish I could see it. I don't really know what happens.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. Palmerell quickly shuffles over to Learlock's tent and sticks his head inside and goes, Learlock,
What are you doing?
are you sure you fixed Talik, or do we get to stab him tonight?
We'll find out. Just give me 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
That was the most convincing not wanting to wake up person I've ever heard in my life.
Very practiced. Very practiced.
Pomerell's
I knew you
like
were gonna say that.
giving me like Sheldon vibes.
Oh no, more serial killer than Sheldon.
Palmerell
I don't know.
shimmies over to Bodynock's tent
Oh god.
and sticks
Shimmies.
opens up the tent just enough to put one eye up to the tent and look in to see if Bodynock's awake or not.
Fuck off! I'm cranking my hog.
Yes.
Oh, that is a fascinating activity. I quite enjoy it myself. And then walks back to his tent.
People getting way too comfortable in this party. Okay, so on this drizzly day, y'all continue to the northeast, I assume.
Yeah.
So
Really?
this will be y'all's last forest node before the next one you enter into the grasslands of Mechzim. For the last couple nodes, actually, y'all have been in many would consider to be Mechzim. There's, there could be orcs at every turn, as far as you know. Haven't had any run-ins yet, or anything to speak of. Yeah, so y'all continue on. What are y'all's roles for the day?
Doing
Perception.
another perception.
Yeah, I mean, I assume
17.
perception makes sense.
Another 11.
19 perception.
Oh wow.
15 years.
Unfortunately, with the rain, the only one who actually gets anything of substance out of this is going to be a Learlock.
Heck yeah.
A Learlock, as you're riding along on the back of the Muddy Horse Revenge, you spot a strange pool puddled on the ground that glistens with a crimson luster that you've seen all too often in your life.
Blood?
Yeah, I mean, it's blood. Yeah.
Okay. That was an amazing description. You just stopped, so I didn't know if we were supposed to...
Well, it's up to a Learlock now.
Oh, okay.
Joey, what does a Learlock do? Is that more
That was
formal? Is that
great,
better?
though. I
The
thought it was
Learlock
great.
considers the crimson pool on the ground. I'm assuming it's a little bit of ways off through the rain.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too far off the main path that y'all are following, actually. It's just, maybe 10 feet off the trail.
I'm gonna pat Tulloch on the shoulder and say, Hold on for a minute. There's what appears to be a pool of blood right over there, about 15 feet away. And I will hop off and scurry over there.
Yeah, that's not normal, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so what are you doing when you get there? It appears to be a rather large, I mean, we're talking maybe 3-foot diameter pool of blood, but it's just one big flat space from what you can see immediately. The rain splashes into it and it splashes up with these viscous drop responses.
I want to take the club and try and put it in the pool and see if it's a regular puddle or if it's something.
Sure, yeah, I see what you're
deeper.
saying, but make sure it's not some portal to another dimension or something. Yeah, you go and put it in and it's just the tip sticks down into the pool. It gets covered in a crimson liquid. As you pull it out, you see it's shimmering with almost like an oily quality to it. It's got like that iridescent shimmer that you get when you have like an oil slick on top of water.
Across all of my travels and with previous parties, do I recognize anything unusual or reminiscent of anything in my travels about this oil slick?
Make
blood?
me a religion check.
Ew.
8. You're not sure what this stuff is. You're not sure if it's it definitely seems to be unusual and not from, your average beast of the forest. You're not sure what it is.
I'm gonna call over the rest of the group and say, "Hey, fellas, come over here for a second. This pool of blood here. It's got a strange tint to it. I don't know how to explain it."
Talik walks over and I'm gonna bend down and stick my pinky in it and then sniff it and then take a lick.
Oh my god.
I need you to make me 2 rolls immediately. One is a Constitution saving throw. Make that one first.
Pomerel is close enough to him to buff it.
Okay.
Oh, what is that? A plus what?
Plus 5.
Okay, then 18 on the Constitution saving throw.
So as you taste this blood and swallow it down, it's like you just threw Everclear into your mouth. You just get this intense, hot, warming sensation all the way down your throat, and it's so intense that it feels like it's going to like cause you permanent damage, but you're able to steel yourself and push through and let out a little cough. I need you to make me a survival check now.
Okay. It's a 13.
13. So from your taste of it, you don't get much more than a Learlock figured out, other than this is not normal blood, and it's got some sort of power in it that you definitely haven't come across on the reg. And it doesn't have that it didn't have like a bad taste to it. Like, you've slaughtered a lot of monsters at this point and gotten splitters and spatters on your face and stuff. You know what monster blood is like, and this isn't like that. It's almost had a pleasant quality, like a fine liquor.
Pomerel, come look at this stuff. See if you know anything about this.
Pomerel is right next to Talik, still mounted, looking straight down at the pool of blood, and he goes, "How'd it taste?"
It's pretty good. Kind of like liquor, but good.
Pomerel will dismount, and he will draw his sword and light it on fire.
Okay.
And with this flaming sword, he'll reach down and he'll touch it to the blood.
When you touch it to the blood, it sizzles off and sears off, pretty much like you would expect blood to do. There's no violent reaction or resistance to it. It sizzles like you would expect a thick, viscous liquid to do. Kind of singes and burns like a sauce at the bottom of a pot.
And Pomerel resheathes his sword and gets back on his horse, and he's just fascinating. That's all he thinks or cares about the puddle.
Okay. Does anybody else?
Anybody have a vial to put some of this curious crimson blood in?
Yeah, I'll take some, scoop some into my brewer's kit, see if we can figure out what it is at a later date.
Okay. Yeah. You can add a vial of mystery blood to your inventory, or give it to Learlock, let him add it, however you want to do that.
My friends, is this a strange occurrence here in the material plane?
That's not usual.
Oh, I see. Fascinating.
I don't really know what it is, to be honest. I think we'll have to show this to somebody smarter than us whenever we get where we're going.
Now that he knows that this is not usual, and his companions seem fascinated about it, is no longer looking at or caring anything at all about the puddle, but is now looking for threats as his soldier mind takes hold. Something unusual on the road puts his guard up.
Yeah. Why don't you make me a perception check around?
Not 20.
Oh wow, 25 total. So as you're looking around, you keenly get a sense of everything around you. Everything is ridiculously still. In fact, there's something odd about this puddle of blood in that it doesn't go anywhere. There's no trail at all. You're quite certain that it's just right here.
Great band, Puddle of Blood.
Puddle of mud. Gosh.
So at that point, Pomerel is going to dismount again and pick up a rock about the size of a grapefruit and drop it in the puddle.
It foot splash into the puddle, the bottom quarter inch or so, submerging and splashing up blood everywhere.
I think at this point, I'm going to roll up my sleeve and reach down into it as far as I can. See if I can feel anything at the bottom.
You go to reach into it, and your hand, hits, and just the palm of your hand is covered. It comes up to, middle of your fingers, because it's only, quarter inch, half inch deep.
Can I try and wipe it away, like swipe it off to the side, like I'm washing off a table?
Sure, yeah. You swipe it away and kind of push it side to side, and underneath it's just, grass and dirt and mud mixed in with the blood. With the rain drizzle coming down, you can, really get it cleaned off down to just dirt.
I don't know, guys. It's nothing. Just blood. Fuck if I know. Let's keep moving.
Pomerel uses Divine Sense.
Read Divine Sense to me.
You can detect good and evil. Until the end of your next turn, you can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
You sense a pretty strong good aura coming off of the blood.
Pomerel noticeably relaxes, and he gets back on his mount and he says, I don't know what it is, but it means us no harm.
I'll take your word for it.
He looks at the puddle and he looks back at everybody, and then he kind of makes this ridiculous scoffing sigh, and he gets back off and he retrieves the rock. He feels bad that the rock is in the puddle now. He gets back.
Okay. That is actually the only thing of note that occurs on today, the 1st of Frost, and y'all make it to the middle of the next node and make it to camp. Which we did that all theater mine, so I don't even need to move Telspire, which is handy.
All right. Pomerel's just noticeably anxious and excited on his horse as they're looking for a spot to camp, and he looks over at the party and he's just like, oh, are we going to get Stabtalik or we're just going to tie him up? Or what are we going to do?
Taluk,
Yeah.
how do you feel about being tied up tonight, huh?
Yeah. That's fine. Whatever y'all want to do. We tried that last time, I think. It mostly worked.
What are we doing?
We're gonna tie up our green friend here.
So tonight is the full moon.
Are you still a little werewolfy?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
just a few nights ago,
Tie his dick to a tree.
specifically,
Yeah.
Splendid idea.
a Learlock performed a ritual that they hope has removed the lycanthropy.
I don't exist on hope. Tie his dick to a tree.
Alec, have they ever tried that with you before?
Seems a little extreme. Let's just tie the rest of my body to the tree.
Dick, please. Chinese finger trap, man.
Okay.
I will make a concerted effort to arrange that. Unless someone combats me against it, then I will give in.
So Pomerel, after being given a long list of instructions from Shadow, begins to look for any type of box canyon, U-shape type structure or mucky area that he could potentially smash Talik down into.
Sure, yeah. So you guys find, in the woods here, things are getting pretty flat, but you're able to find like a small creek that's wallowed out the land a little bit, and the creek's running pretty good today. So, most of the riverbed is full, but you're able to find a little spot with a bank that you can get down into.
Per my prince's instructions, I think this would be a good place to tie you up, Talik. Are you amenable to that activity?
Yeah, leave my hand free. I'm gonna try and drink as much wine as I can out of this endless decanter before midnight. You could tie this last hand before midnight.
I've got 3 arrows of sleep. I can hit you with one of those.
Do
Give you a
whatever
good
you need
ambient.
to, but let me turn first if you're gonna do something like that, please.
Who has the silver dagger?
I think I have it right here. And I whip it out.
Okay, so we get Talik down in the mud, and Pomerel grabs some big heavy logs and kind of smashes over the top of him, tries to tie the logs down to Talik. Ties the logs off to some roots and stuff and tree trunks and
So you get him all tied down in there. He's got one hand free. He's having to awkwardly tilt it up to pour a little wine down his mouth. And as the evening sets and the night gets darker, the rain starts to subside a little bit, and the weather starts to cool. The clouds are still thick in the sky, and you really can't see the moon at all. Everything is pretty still. There's just kind of a hush comes across as y'all are just waiting for the moment. And not too long after sunset, just an hour or so after sunset, the clouds begin to break up a little bit. You can start to see a few stars here and there peeking through, and then you can see the light of the moon shining onto the backs of the clouds. The clouds are moving slowly and open up and release just a beam of moonlight that somehow seems to shine directly on Talik in all of his logs and mess, with a solid beam of lunar light. And Talik, it's so bright that it actually kind of makes you squint for a moment as the light comes in. And a few seconds pass, and nothing happens.
Yay!
Hey, I think you did it. It's all good. Come untie me. Or maybe wait a minute, but I think you
Yeah,
did it.
we'll give it a good 5-er. Huh?
Hell yeah.
oh, interesting. Well, let's shed some light on this situation, shall we? And he's been sitting within like 10 feet of Talik, and he speaks a Solarian elven word, and the pendant that hangs from his neck glows with the brightness of a noon sun and lights up everything within 60 feet of him like it's daytime. I don't think anything has changed at all.
Yeah, so you're looking at him, and you're looking into his pupils, and it's got the little bit of a slitness to it that he's always had since the time you met him. That seems to reflect his scales a little bit. But there doesn't seem to be any hint of the orange that it once had when you met him, and he doesn't have any feral bloodshotness to his eyes or anything. He seems to be himself, if a little bit sloppy.
Well, Elirlock, you are powerful indeed. It seems that you have cured the affliction.
It wasn't my own power. That was Lady Luck above. In fact,
Fascinating.
It was you little rabbit bastard.
Oh man, the casual rabbit racism continues.
Hey, no, I like that. Well, how's it racism? Big fan of having a rabbit that can talk in a slightly British accent in our group.
Oh man. Okay.
He can hear you, Body Knock. He's right here.
Unraveling. So Pomerel, disappointed, marches with his daylight pendant up to a dry spot and puts up his tent.
Okay.
And leaves Talik tied up in the mud.
Poor Talik.
Hey, y'all let me out.
I want to go over with the silver dagger, and I'm going to say, "All right, just hold still 1 second," and I'm going to press the dagger against his palm and see if there's any reaction.
There's no visible reaction that you can see, Talik. It just feels like cold steel you've felt 1,000 times.
No, nothing. I'm good. I think you did it.
All right, and then I'll begin trying to undo this madness that was put together by Pomerel.
Right, the logs and stuff.
Mm.
Okay. Cool. So that is the night of the 1st of
Breezing through
Frost.
these days now.
breezing
Yeah, this
through.
is a lot. I mean, we had like 5 sessions in one day.
Right?
Yeah,
We've
now
had, like,
we've
4
had like
days.
4 days
like
in
an
one
hour.
session. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking making moves, son.
making moves. Yeah, the 43rd of Harvest was a long day for the party.
All right. So I assume y'all are continuing your northeasterly trek. The sword seems to be happy with that direction.
Yeah. I think I kind of check in with it.
Right. Yeah. I realize that like we don't need to role play that. I can just tell you what the swords
Right.
say, and you've established
Right.
that you're checking in with it.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was a warm front coming through, and now it's kind of grossly humid. It's up to about 80 today,
Oh,
and
Talik's loving it. He's feeling at
ugh.
home.
Umbrella is very happy.
the rain has stopped, and the wind is very light. So it's just kind of that like post rainy day warm front, just kind of warm, sticky day. What are you guys' roles?
Sticky, sticky, sticky.
Sticky icky.
12 perception.
Perception,
15 perception.
14.
21.
Ooh.
21.
21. 21. So, Body Knock, as you're riding along a little bit closer to the ground, you actually spot.
Is that a short joke, motherfucker?
Well, I mean, you're also on a smaller animal, so yeah.
On a
yeah.
dog.
It gives
Oh,
you
Jeffrey by his name, son.
it gives you certain advantages.
Yeah,
And as you're and this is the type of thing that a roguish type as yourself might look out for. You see, tucked in the knot of a tree, a little piece of parchment that seems to be rolled up and sticking out of the tree just slightly.
Cocaine straw. Let's take it.
As you pull it out, you notice that it is a map.
Oh, it's a
And your perception check is good enough that you can actually see that there's a spot that they tried to like rub off the lead from it. but you can hold it up to the light and you can read. It says stash,
Oh,
and it looks to
Oh.
be just a little ways off y'all's path. Shouldn't take any real time from what you can deduce about the environment to head over to where this stash is.
boyos, you want to check out this stash? See if there's any cocaine in it.
Following you.
Pomerel's like, absolutely. I don't know what that is, but you seem quite excited. Let's go.
So you follow it over, and you actually find another hole in a tree. This one, a much larger one down at the bottom, that matches where the stash was on the map. And you reach in and you pull out a little burlap wrapped item, and it's a potion of some kind. Make me a sleight of hand check.
God, fucking that one. That shit. Wait, can I re-roll that ones? I can't remember what.
You can with your halflingness.
Yeah.
All right.
That is a 28.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
You tink this around, and it's got this weird milky quality to it with a iridescent swirl when you swirl it around in the bottle. It is a pale tincture, which is a slow but very deadly poison.
I was about to drink that too. I'm glad you told me.
And wrapped around it is another piece of paper with the recipe for how to craft a pale tincture.
Oh.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's a poison, and now we have the recipe on how to craft said poison.
Oh yeah.
It is a poison that has to be ingested to take effect instead
Can
of
it be boofed?
probably. I'll let y'all work out how you want to get that into somebody. So where you find this is right on the edge of the
Oh.
woods.
Like
As
a
you
glass dildo. God.
excuse me? Wait, what? I thought he was talking about like snorting it. What are you talking about?
Oh,
You need
yeah.
to go ahead and Google boof.
Boost is
Oh.
the booty hole.
I wish I'd never said anything. Okay, as
Continue.
you guys
Like ever?
exit the woods, you come out into a large field, and the sun kind of basks down upon you and gives you a nice warmness. For Pomerel, I mean, maybe it's been a little while that y'all been in the dank, creepy woods, so to have just unfettered access to the glowing orb that is
Oh,
the giver of all
Oh.
energy and life
he
on the planet.
immediately starts trying to expose as much of his flesh as possible to the sunlight without taking his armor off. I mean, just
Sun that butthole, baby.
So if he
I
just
thought he
has
was
to,
doing paint funding.
oh, he will once we make camp. If the lights, if the sun's still up.
a lunchtime sunning. Anyway, so not long after y'all make it into the grasslands of Mech-Zim,
Smells like home, boys.
yeah, Talik is really, these woods weren't really his stomping ground. They're a little more to the east. So but these grasslands, he's seen these before. So you'll see quite a bit of a kerfuffle. About 100 feet up in front of you guys, there are a dozen or so large avian creatures that are, think more like giant chickens or ostriches, there we go, that are running across the plains. Their
Chocobos.
face, yeah, kind of like chocobos. Their face, though, ends in a big flat curve that appears like an axe on the front of
Oh
their
my
face.
God.
Yeah, their face looks like an axe on the front of it. And they are sprinting full speed towards you guys, and they are followed by a trio of giant winged beings, large mechanically, winged beings with lion manes and lion bodies and these huge wings that they're flying on. Two of them are flying behind them, and one is sprinting behind them. And you see one of the ones flying behind flicks its tail between its legs and lets out a couple of dart spears towards the axe beak, missing them as they sprint forward. And all of this is coming towards you. And we will pick up here next time.
A whip crack with a swoopy
Holy
tail.
shit.
The whip.
Oh, this feels like home.
The saddle
Okay.
on Revenge gets a little damp.
Oh.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
Learlock wet himself.
Oh, okay.
He is a rabbit.
I thought he was aroused and suddenly female.
Oh my.
I was
Well,
very
I'm out of the
confused.
gutter, boy.
I don't know how you're gonna edit this session, Taylor.
I think it's
gonna be
just gonna have to
awful.
all get left in.
It'll just
It's the only
be.
option sometimes.
Sometimes
I'll put a disclaimer at the beginning.
I just like, hey, if you're
This
sensitive,
episode's worse than normal. Make sure you use headphones in
Yeah.
public.
you have put a disclaimer in before that was like, use headphones for this. Oh man, or maybe it wasn't you. Maybe it was
true.
another video I was listening to the other day. Well, that was a fun one, boys. That was chaos incarnate.
That's what I.
That's
That's what I bring to
fun.
the table.
That's
I
a
love
body
it.
knock. Body knocks back.
Back in black.
I don't think he was alone.
Yeah, Pomerel is extremely chaotic. Let's be real.
Oh man, it's all yeah.
I don't know that
I
it's
love it.
chaotic. It's just
Oh, it's
bizarre.
chaotic. Well, yeah, okay. Bizarre, yeah.
Bizarre. He's a weirdo from another dimension with some confusing proclivities.
You said it.
That broke everybody there for a
I'm gonna hop
second.
off. Love you guys.
Good night.
Night.
Love you.
Bye, buddy.
Find out what happens to our party next week. Check us out at dndndummies.com. And please leave us a rating and a review on your podcast app. It would mean the world to us.
Do dragons have genders?
Oh yeah. It's hard to tell because it's all a cloaca.
Like, so do dragons have dicks?
Mm-mm.
They're cloacas.
Cloaca. It's all cloacas all the time.
I guess we
Oh.
would have seen one hanging down when they fly over.
Yeah. Well, not Hishinog because Hishinog was a girl.
Oh yeah, well, we
And
would have seen.
If Hishinog was a boy,
Tits
there
are
would have been a cloaca.
It still would have, yeah, just been full on cloaca action.